Hey guys, and welcome to the final 2 workouts of the Stronger Olympic Lifting Series. Bit of a change in scenery right now because I've actually had to move places. Can you guess where I am now? Comment down below if you think you know. 15 weeks ago I began my journey to the state championships, and 48 workouts later, here we are. All that's left is to ace these 2 workouts, and then I just need to be confident that what I've done has been enough to get my goals. In celebration of this last episode, where I'll be talking to you face to face before the workout commences, I'm going to answer every single question you guys posted from week 14. Here we go. Kevin Guo. Have you ever had knee pain or imbalances between either leg? If you have, how did you deal with them? For example, when I squat, my left leg is fine as the weight is on my muscles, but the weight on my right leg seems to rest on my knee. That's a bit of a weird way to say that because regardless, the weight is on your knee, the weight is on the muscles of both legs. I assume you're talking about where you feel it. For myself, I have felt it specifically on one knee. It has been tendonitis. What I've done to prevent that is I've rested, and at times I have trained through it. And what helped me, remember everyone is different, you may not have the same thing as me, but I added further compression to the knee, and that pressure wrapped around helped to prevent the pain so that I could continue to train. Obviously in general I don't advise to train through pain, but that is how I dealt with mine. Rest is the main thing you would do if you're trying to get rid of the knee pain, particularly if it's tendonitis. Referring to week 14 last week, where I showed you guys the My Muscle Chef meals that I was on, Gareth Hunter wants to know what are the salt levels like in those meals. I just went and had a look, and you can probably see from last week, I showed you the label, the couple of meals that I've looked at, they're all under 0.1 grams of sodium. DJ Marsh, Tyson, have you ever tried to maintain the hook grip in the clean catch? It requires a great deal of flexibility, but a coach recommended it to me once, and my stability while standing up has been much better. Any thoughts? Yes. My thoughts are, no, I haven't ever tried to maintain the hook grip when I catch. It just naturally comes out of that so that I can rack it in a comfortable position. But you say a coach recommended it to you to help with stability while standing up. I've never had problem with stability racking the bar and standing up, so I've never sought any kind of solution. If it helps you, then sure, go for it. Blaine Taylor, the gym leader of Cinnabar. Tyson, I noticed you said that you were doing good mornings as an accessory to develop lower back strength. Why do you do that exercise rather than the conventional deadlift? In my experience, the deadlift has been one of the key movements in developing the musculature in my entire posterior chain, especially the lower back. Have you considered this, or do you think performing the deadlift might take away from the other exercises you are doing because of the level of effort it takes to perform a heavy deadlift? Or do you simply feel that more muscle activation takes place in the lower back from the good morning over the deadlift? I think the good morning definitely targets the lower back more specifically than the deadlift, but obviously you can load up on a deadlift a lot more than you could load up on a good morning. You kind of answered the question in your own comment there. I think because it's an accessory exercise I'm using to strengthen the lower back, making it the deadlift, like you mentioned or touched on in your comment, would be quite taxing on the body. The idea is to hit that specific area, knowing that it's vulnerable or a weakness that you need to build up. And doing the deadlift, it's much more of an all-over body exercise. And if I was doing heavy deadlifts at the end of every workout, it could really impact my performance for future training sessions because of the amount of fatigue my body would be suffering from and the lack of recovery time I'm giving it. As a beginner or an intermediate lifter, I would definitely recommend deadlifts as a way to build up lower back strength, but as a specific accessory exercise to target that area, good mornings are most appropriate for me in this program. I loved reading all of your goals that you've set for yourself. Good luck to all of you. Consistent training, hard work, determination, that's what will get you those goals. And that's it for questions, guys. Be sure to tune in next week for the competition. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. I hope you've learned a thing or two along the way, whether it be information to apply to your own workout, or maybe I've just shed more light on what Olympic lifting is. I hope you've been entertained as well, and I really, really hope that you enjoy these last 2 workouts that are going to bring me into the competition for next week. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you for the next video. Well, the time has come, and it's the last week of the Stronger Olympic Lifting series. In 6 days' time, counting today, I'll have the competition, and that'll bring the series to a close. The way it works a week before your competition is like a tapering week. You do your starting weights for clean and jerk one day, your starting weights for snatch on another day. So the idea of today is to own these weights. These 3 reps that I do for clean and jerk, going to be at 130 kilos, ideally my starting weight, and there should be no indiscretions in terms of technique. Each one should be relatively flawless and, you know, so to speak, relatively easy. Let's go do it. I'm happy with the consistency of these clean and jerks. The only thing I noticed was the jerk started to weaken, and by the 3rd set, it wasn't a comfortable, solid lockout. The pulls are before the squats just for this week because I think the coach wants me to really focus on that complete extension in the pull, also while I've still got some energy to spare. I was originally going to back squat for this session, but the coach had me front squat for tonight and the upcoming snatch session. I'm quite sure he holds the front squat in high regards for improving the clean, hence the priority. I only did what was prescribed by the program for this week, therefore I didn't do any good mornings or hyperextensions at the end of the workout. Snatch went even better than the clean and jerk did last session. I immediately found my balance in that bottom position, and the whole movement felt strong and, more importantly, really fast. guys, and that's done. As you saw from the title at the start of this workout, that was the 50th workout of the series and the final one just before competition. So a quick summary, I only did 2 workouts this week. There is a third, but that's the competition. I don't count that as a workout, obviously. That's the pinnacle of what all this training has been for. So these last 2 workouts that I've just done, one focused on clean and jerk, the other focused on snatch. Ideally, it's your starting weight for 3 singles. There should be no misses. It should feel not easy, but it should be good, solid technique with not many indiscretions. You're not all over the place. And that's exactly what it felt like for me. These last 2 workouts were awesome. They've given me a huge confidence boost going into competition, and I'm very confident I can start with the 130 clean and jerk and the 105 snatch. I weighed myself last night and I was 84.75. That's the first time I've been under 85 in about 3 months. When I do weigh myself, I'm generally got my t-shirt on, the suit or the skins bottoms, and the shoes on. So I think I am around 85 now, and on the day I'll just minimize my water intake, minimize my food consumption, not have big heavy solid meals, and should be fine. I'm very excited whenever I think about this competition, and that's how it's been for others as well. I get butterflies in my stomach. I just get that nervous feeling. You could call it anxiety, but it's not, because I'm extremely excited. It's excitement is what it is for the day, because I've put a certain amount of pressure on myself, and there'll be friends and family in the audience, so there's also that level of pressure to succeed. It's the culmination of 50 workouts behind me. I'm really excited, guys. I'll see you on Saturday for the competition. Let's rest for now. Until then, see you on Saturday. And that is it. Training is now over, and I can confidently say I did all I could to prepare for my goals of the 110 kilo snatch and the 135 kilo clean and jerk. Subscribe to show your support, and be sure to join me for next week, the final episode of the Stronger Olympic Lifting series, The Competition. Referring to week 14 from last week, where I showed you guys the My Muscle Chef meals that I was on, Gareth Hunter wants to know, what are the salt levels in those meals like? I've looked at a couple of them, Gareth, and they're all below 0.1. I forget.